Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Tonight we're playing Legends of Aria, and it's been quite a while since I've last streamed Legends of Aria. For some reason, well actually I know the reason, and the reason is because I have been working gathering materials for my bigger, more proper house. So I have, so far here on the PvE server, I do have the small house next to Halls of Corruption. That's just for farming for reagents. But then the proper house that I want to get, and by proper I mean the one that I'm actually gonna, decorate and have my characters live in, and set up all my workstations and set up a merchant and stuff. That is actually going to be the one that the plot that's nearer to Elder Village. And the house I'm going to be going for is the Tudor House Tavern. Costs 33 gold, 26 silver, and I have already... So the reason I haven't actually been streaming is because for this you need to have 1,000 bricks, 1,000 iron ingots, and 4,000 boards. And as you can imagine, that's been a lot of boring grinding, but I have all of the materials. We have them right here. And they're all ready to go. The only thing that's missing right now is that I do not have the amount of gold that I need to purchase the house deed. So far I have on this character I have 18 gold, and on my other character, let's just check how much she has. I think it's like a couple gold that she has here in the corruption house. I actually hate that every time I'm entering the... Oh, did I actually get stuck at the front door? I got stuck, guys, at the front door of my house. That's interesting. So we're just going to have to use the stuck option to unstick me. But what I was going to say... Oh, there we go. That was pretty fast. What I was going to say is I hate how in this house model, every time I'm about to go inside, you see that? I double-clicked the door, but it opens up the house control, and you have to, I have to always change the rotation. So isn't that interesting? See, you see that? I'm double clicking there, and it opens this up. That's so weird. So I actually have to go inside the house. I have to make sure to rotate so that the target for the sign is definitely not, overlapping the house door. That's very annoying, though. Very, very annoying. And hello, the Squishy Hat and Du Jensen. How are you guys doing tonight? So yeah, I meant to check what I have with this character in this house, and so far she has 2 gold, 45. So we're actually missing about 13 gold, even though the title of the stream is 10 gold. So I don't think we're going to make it tonight, but we'll start working towards that, as gathering gold is a much more fun thing to stream than chopping trees or mining the ore, or mining for the stone. So now what we could do, now it depends a little bit on when my son is going to get home. It could be that I might have to cut short the stream if he gets home a little bit too early and wants to hit bed. He's at a friend's house right now, but I think I can get a few hours in of streaming at least before he does get home. So what we'll do is we're gonna actually play with both accounts, and I am going to we're gonna use this character for gathering the gold, and we're gonna use this character to do the actual fighting. And you'll see soon what I mean, and we can do a little tour of the best gold farming places. We're not going to go to Corruption today because we've been in Corruption so many times before, so that's a little bit boring. Instead, we could start off perhaps at the Gazers, then maybe go to the Vile Spiders, and then maybe go to Deception if we have time. Or actually, yeah, I think maybe we'll probably only have time for the gazers and deception. And actually that would be kind of a natural fit because deception is just, you know, a hop and a skip up north from the gazers anyhow. So we have to get our mage prepared now with all the reagents she's gonna need. And hello there, Stardog. How are you doing tonight? Nice to see you again. So let's see what she has in her inventory right now. I'm probably gonna need to take a lot of reagents with me, and we can keep those in Safarina's pack horses. So let's just take tons and tons with us, and also tons of bandages as well, because those are the things that we will be running out of for sure. And it's been some time since I've played with Malena, so she's sort of like, I'm trying to remember where everything is. There we go. So let's just put everything pooled together here and then start from fresh. Okay, so she's definitely going to need a lot of moss. So let's take 600 moss with us. And mushrooms she will use a lot of as well. Let's take 600 of those. And lemongrass, she uses that as well. And we don't really even have that much lemongrass anyhow to start off with. Just over 600 anyhow. Now, ginseng, she hardly needs anything of because she uses actually the bandages to heal, and that's the one used for all the healing spells. I think I will be fine with 100 of those. And then bandages, we're going to take 1,500 bandages with us. She cannot actually carry that. Hold on, let's just put this one back here. Can she carry it now? No. Hold on, what's her weight right now? So maybe I need to I think what I need to do, well, first thing I need to do is actually get this character back back to Elder Village so we can meet up with the other character. And then I'm going to make a portal for her to come to this house. And Stardog, you're doing good tonight. Nice to hear. Good to hear. And you wanted to ask about whether I have heard of Haven and Hearth. I have heard of it. People have mentioned that game to me many times, but I have never played it myself. So I'm assuming that you really enjoy playing that game. And let's make a portal for her outside. Let's see now, where are my I'm sort of lost with everything here. Are they here? No, they're probably, here we go. So Elder Village, Elder Bank, there we go. Let's make a portal, and then we can just put all the bandages and like all the extra stuff right into Safarina's pack horses. Let's take that with us and just make a portal for, you see that? Oh, that's so annoying. Always like pressing the house control menu then from that sign being in the way. I wish this sign was actually over on this side, because it's sort of natural. Well, I guess of course that it would be the same issue when you came from this direction, or else maybe a little bit farther away from the door, or I don't know, it's really annoying. Okay, so let's make the portal for Elder Bank. I'm forgetting all of my spells here. Here we go. And then let's have her go through. There we go. You're so addicted to Haven and Hearth, Stardog. It's like Worm and Yo had a love child. Really? Oh, my goodness. That sounds like a game I need to check out then. Let me just have a look here very quickly, like what that looks like. Haven and Hearth. Aha. No, that's 30 games like Haven and Hearth. Okay. So Haven and Hearth is this one, right? I see where you're getting at. So you got the farming going on. Apparently you can build your own little like towns and villages and houses and stuff. Yeah, I can see why that could be a game that I would enjoy for sure. How's the volumes, by the way, guys? I had to sort of readjust everything again. And can you guys even hear the music right now? Yeah, I might just try that. So is that does that cost anything, or like is it a free to play, or how does that work, Stardog? Okay, so let's take Safarina inside and grab those bandages. Oh, Melena's in the way. All we need is really one pack horse anyhow. So we needed the bandages and to pack those with us. Or are they over here? Yes, okay. 1,500 bandages. Let's take those in a pack horse. Like so. Good. Now, we shall head out. I think I will take with me a portal for my home as well. Excuse me. Let's take a portal stone for home, or a rune as well for home. Let's see here. Big home. Actually, oh yeah, we need one for all the locations. Gazer Isle. We're gonna need that one. That's the only one we're really gonna need, actually. And then we are going to need... That's the one for the big home, so we'll bring everything. I think what I'll do is I'll actually bind Safarina to this house, and then we can just hearthstone here every time we need to empty our inventory. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Of course, we should probably split up our reagents as well a little bit. So let's just put we'll start off with 100 of each. Just gonna put that on the ground and let Safarina pick that up and put that into a pack horse. So we don't want to be carrying that much around with our actual fighting character. And we'll start off with the gazers. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So let's get everyone outside and we'll portal over to the gazers and get started. Come on, horsies, let's all get out of here. There we go. Okay. Volume is great. Good to hear. Good to hear. And you're saying if you like it, you can pay one time $15 to get some nice bonus and a cool hat. And if you decide to try it, a bunch of us from Nexa Alliance and Worm are playing it. Let you know so you can show you around and get you to where you are. You guys are in the world. It's pretty safe where we are. Okay, well, I'll definitely consider it. No promises at this point. I have so many like projects ongoing, but it sounds like a game I need to try out one of these days. So I will definitely take you up on that offer at some point. Let's just put these down because Safarina should probably keep a hold on those. Just to be on the safe side. We don't want, just in case Malena dies. And here's the thing that we're going to do. Let's just check out with Malena first and just make sure that there are no gazers actually right at the server border. So the thing is that we are right now, here is this big sandy area, the Barren Lands, and we're just crossing the bridge over from the southern rim into the Barren Lands, and there's this little island called Gazer Isle. And the thing is that the server border is right here in the middle of the water. So this is a trick that that one of the people on the stream had taught me, that you can safely sort of keep your character. Okay, so I'm going to just go over the edge again and make sure just to see where it is when I come back, and then I'm going to park Safarina there. So where Malena ends up, I'm going to just keep her standing there, and I'm going to take oh, it's just this close anyhow, so we're just going to keep Safarina right here, and then every time that Malena has to come bring like unload the gold, she can just do it safely. And Safarina's now on that side of the server, and the thing is that the gazers cannot come through. They cannot come through the server border, so we can keep Safarina here nice and snug and safe. And of course, you know, a bear or something could wander along or spawn along, but we'll just, you know, keep an eye on her and make sure that oh, I almost started to go too fast. Let's keep her parked. We'll keep an eye on her and just make sure she's fine, and I will hear with my volume anyhow if something starts to happen. Okay, now Malena is on the gazer side of the server border. Okay, let's get to some gold farming then. And it has been quite a while since I have played with Malena, so... Oh, what am I doing? I went on the completely wrong side here. And I should probably... No, I'm not gonna have a horse because they're gonna dismount me anyway. So I'm just gonna go by foot actually. There we go. You have entered the Barren Lands. You have entered Gazer Isle. Now hopefully there's a gazer called a beholder, because they drop some very, very nice loot. Now these little guys I can just take down standing in one spot here. I don't have to try to escape them at all to take them down. These half gazers, they're not too bad. Oh, you know what Malena doesn't have with her? She doesn't have her bandages. I'm gonna go have to fetch some bandages from Safarina. I thought something was missing. Yeah, she doesn't have any bandages with her. So let's go quickly grab some bandages from Safarina. And we'll give her 100 bandages to start off with, Just set those down and get them in her inventory. There we go. And actually, something I don't think I've necessarily mentioned on the streams, but Malena has, so far, she has attained 100 channeling and 100 healing. So she's a Grandmaster healer and Grandmaster channeler these days. So she's done some nice progress. Yeah, these little guys, they're not too bad to handle at all. Now, the next level of Gazer, they are a little bit nastier. I have to take a little, walk away a little bit with those guys, as they can shoot pretty bad spells. And then the beholders, with those you have to be like super careful, because just like a couple of times, even like one there. Oh, here. Is it a beholder? It is a beholder, guys. So the reason we want the beholders, so this is the biggest gazer type here, and the reason we want a beholder, I'm just gonna lure it here over where I have some space to, so that there aren't other gazers like spawning in the area. And I'm just gonna lure it over here where it's a little bit safer to fight this thing. And as you can see already from the damage that gazer has done to me, I'm a little bit rusty on my skills here. It's been a couple of weeks since I've played with Malena. So it's just a process of now the nice thing is that even though I came on this side, you can see how the gazer is not showing on this side. And now when I go back over the server border, and it's sort of like funny because I have to run a little bit. It's not when you're entering and exiting, it's not the exact same spot. But now when I come on this side, it's going to be quite handy because the beholder is now on this side, which gives me again a little bit of space to run around in. So it's just a matter of like kiting this thing back and forth along the bridge. It's a little bit of a slow process, but the reason we want the beholder is because they actually drop like fancy furniture and like, special decorations and plants and stuff like that. And again, I'll just kite it along the bridge here. Now, they do not spawn very often though, so when I've been hunting here before, I've seen them spawn maybe once an hour, something like that. So we were super, 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 super lucky that one was here already, just as we arrived. Quite crazy actually, because I think this is what everyone is like going for when they come up here. I need to get my my mana up actually. Let's just put a poison on him, and I need to get my mana up. So we're just gonna go over to the safe side here and just get some mana up. It's a little bit of it's kind of like cheating though, isn't it? I'm being kind of naughty. It's not very gallant of me to do this, but it's a nice little trick to use because that beholder is like super tough. Now hopefully it will actually drop us something nice. Every single one that I've ever killed, they have dropped something nice, so it seems to be pretty much guaranteed. And the trick is to just stay a few steps ahead. When I cast the poison, it's pretty nice because it sort of like causes the target to take a few, like to sort of move erratically a little bit. So it will sort of disturb their spell casting a little bit. So even though the poison does not do too much damage to the beholder anyhow, it still is a sort of like causes it to be a little bit causes its spells to be interrupted a little bit. Let's put another poison in him. To get my mana up. See if we can get him down now. Don't really have enough mana, I don't think. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to get some mana up, actually. Let's put one more poison on him while I do that. He's almost down. He should go down now. There we go. Finally, so let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have. We're gonna harvest him as well. Oh, we got ourselves a little crate, guys. So we got a furniture crate, 2 ancient scrolls, 468 copper, which is like 4.5 silver, and some reagents. And of course they also give beast leather, so very cool. I'm gonna open that furniture crate right away and see what we actually got. I suspect that it's probably a plant, because that's the only thing I've gotten so far from these guys, but they do give other decorations as well. Oh, we got ourselves a candelabra. That is so cool. So we're going to actually go take that over to Safarina, so it'll be safe and sound right from the get-go, because so far I've only gotten one of those. That is so cool. They're so pretty. What a nice beginning. What a nice beginning to this hunt. So actually, I think what I'll do is, yeah, we'll just hand it over to Saf. And I could set it on the ground, but you never know if somebody's stealthed as they're seeing the stream. You never know. Can't be too safe with something like that. Good. How awesome. What an awesome beginning. And for those who have not noticed yet, you can actually move around your nameplate these days. It came in a update recently, not the last one, but I think it was the one before that. So it was something I have been wishing for many times. Okay, let's continue the hunt. to get my my mana up a bit, I'm afraid. I think we can get one last ray of frost in there. There we go. Hey there, JJ. Good afternoon to you as well, although it is of course evening over here. How have you been doing for the... how has your week started off? We just got a very nice, we just killed a beholder here at the geysers, and I was able to get a candelabra. So that was very, very nice. What a nice beginning for the stream. Let's see how many E-bolts we can get in this guy before I have to escape. So this is the middle. These guys are sort of like in the middle as far as how tricky they are to deal with. So as you can see, like unlike the beholder, oh, I'm out of mana. Unlike the beholder, I can, you know, put in a few spells before I actually have to escape. But then they're a little bit harder than the half gazers as well. That I can't just stand in one spot and take him down with my spells either. So he's a little bit harder. Oh, Monday/Tuesday is your weekend. Ah, but that's good though. That's good. So you're chilling, charging your batteries, playing some games. Ooh, he actually almost got me there. Almost got me, that nasty old guy. Let's put a poison on him. Because just like with the beholder, the poison will sort of make him, you know, it will interrupt his spells a little bit. Make him sort of pause once in a while as he comes along. Let's see if we can get him down. There we go. Now what do these guys give? Let's just check what the amount of gold was from these guys. I mean, it's a little bit slow going here at the gazers, but it's nice that they give. So we got 3 ancient scrolls, which is pretty good, and so they give about the same amount of gold actually as the beholders. So 5.5 silver, but that's a huge amount of ancient scrolls actually. Okay, what do these guys give? They give, so they only give 1.5 silver, so hardly anything. And also, I don't think they can be. Yeah, they can't even be harvested. So they're sort of like a waste of time, really. So I should probably try and avoid them if possible, and not waste too much time on them. Let's see what we have on this side. Ah, there is also some more half gazers over here. think we're probably gonna have to deal with them regardless, because they're gonna be in my way for kiting something over anyhow. So just take them down. Oh, there's a full-grown gazer over there. Oh, there's that half gazer that I almost. Okay, there he goes with the last little bit of poison. Let's get a poison on the gazer. Go and get our mana up a bit as he comes along. You see how he sort of jerks? He sort of stops and sort of jerks in place because of the poison. It's quite handy, really. Let's actually put another poison on him before I go and get my mana up. Keep him sort of like confused. Ah, JJ, I wonder though, do you think maybe the gazer, like, I don't know, I have no idea, but, because I'm not very knowledgeable on the Dungeons and Dragons, naming, but do you think that perhaps the gazer, word comes from Dungeons and Dragons, possibly? I'm not sure. Like, you know, maybe the gazer word was not originally from UO, but that they took that name from the original Dungeons and Dragons game. That's a possibility. Ah, it's a D&D thing. Okay. Yeah. I've never actually played Dungeons and Dragons myself. All I know is that it's sort of like the origin of a lot of those terms. And sort of like the foundation of all of these RPG games. Let's see if we can get this guy down. There we go. There we go. Open source monsters, yeah. I've noticed with the latest update there are some sort of weird changes to the healing, which are quite annoying. So what I could do before was, even though the progress bar for being able to make to use the bandage again, even though that was still like progressing up until like the timer I should say, even though the timer was still going before I could apply the next bandage, I could at least get the bandage ready so that the target cursor was there, and then just keep spamming myself to get that in once the timer was up, and then I didn't have to pay attention to the timer. However, what happens now is that so here we have this timer. Oh, I'm not gonna. So there's the cursor, and if I spam G, which is for your targeting yourself, you see that it gave that message that you cannot apply a bandage. You cannot bandage yet, and but what would happen before, I'm not sure if that message was there before as well, but at least you would not lose the target cursor, so you could just keep on like pressing yourself and just make sure to get that bandage in as soon as the timer was up. So this is a little bit annoying, to be quite honest. I'm not quite sure why they changed it that way. Let's try and get one of these gazers off to the side here and leave the other one behind, because I cannot handle two at the same time. That is for sure. Okay, I think we can do it now. There we go. Yeah, exactly, JJ. How annoying is that? So I'm guessing that's then with all actions in general and not just the bandaging, right? Very, very annoying. Very annoying. Okay, I think I can get him down this time. Oh, he silenced me. Okay. Well, that means we're gonna have to run away for a bit. No use hanging around at that spot. At that point. There we go. Now, let's finish this guy off. There we go. I want to keep an eye on my weight as well here. 101 out of 280. We don't have anything to worry about yet. Exactly, JJ, exactly. It gives an extra thing you need to pay attention to. Yeah, it's like and it's not like a fun thing, you know? It's like because you want those extra steps to be something sort of like fun to like fun gameplay, and that does not make it more fun. Very, very strange. It just makes it more tedious. That's what it does. I wonder what their thinking was with that, like why they decided to change it that way. Let's put another poison on him quick before he goes too far. So it stops key mashing and forces players to be more precise with their actions. It matters a lot more in PvP. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that was, if it was something about the PvP situation then. That they wanted to make it a little bit more challenging or something. Go. I could swear that you could harvest these gazers before, like the middle sized gazers. Or maybe it's just some of them. I'm gonna have to keep on trying because I could swear you could, but some of them you can't. I guess it's sort of like the trolls as well. Like some trolls you can skin, others you cannot. Yeah, you might be right about that, JJ. You might be right. See what we have over. Oh, let's just take. Well, we might as well take down these little guys. Get them out of the way. Actually, I should meditate while I'm looting. Do kill 2 flies with 1 stone. Okay, let's kite one of these guys over again. Oh, I'm silenced. Okay, no use hanging around at this point then. Ooh, he almost got me. Gonna have to be a bit more careful. He almost got me. And I need to turn off this, I'm not sure why it's converted this, or like changed it again, my setting to auto zoom. Get a little bit of a variation with the camera angle here, just for a little bit something different to look at. Hey there, Fluter. Welcome to the stream. So you're asking... Let me just get a poison on this gazer first. And get off to a safer spot to respond to you here. Maybe we'll just take this guy down and then I'll check what you said here. 1 second. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't think you can like skin these guys anymore. You could before though. So Fluter, you are asking how housing and vendors and stuff like that work in this game. And is the tax to keep house high? Can you explain please if you know how it works? Yes, I am happy to explain. So my first question to you, Fluter, is have you played Ultima Online? Just so I know, like, because if you have or have not, then I know, like, to what extent I need to explain to you. Okay, you are a UO player. So the first difference with housing between UO and Legends of Aria. So in UO, the first similar thing is that just like in UO, you can search for a free, like, little opening of land anywhere in the lands. So there's not like assigned like housing areas like in many other MMOs. It's just like UO. You go hunting for a beautiful spot for yourself, and then you have to find a little clearing, just like in UO. But a difference from UO is that there are many, many more like housing spots over here that actually a lot more of the land is like is available for house placing. But a difference is that in UO, when you claim a plot, it creates a little foundation on the ground upon which you build your house. Now here, the way it works is you claim a little bit of land, so your plot does not have any foundation or any bricks or anything like this. It's just a little area of land, and on top of that land, you can then build one house or two small houses, or as many small houses as you can fit there. So that's a very big difference from UO. And that means that you can then, you could place a house and maybe, put some decorations on the grass and stuff like that. And maybe put some merchants, maybe make a little merchant stall area in front of your house and so forth. Now, as far as the taxes are concerned, now in Ultima Online, of course, you had to pay a subscription fee to the game to make sure that your house didn't start decaying, right? In this game, there's no subscription fee in the game whatsoever. You just buy it once, and then that's that. And if you choose to not have a house, you don't have to pay anything. But if you do have a plot of land, you have to pay taxes. So you're paying for actually the taxes of the land. And you pay that every Friday, and the amount of taxes depends on the size of the land. And if you have a very small plot, it is very, very easy to get the amount of money that you need to pay the taxes. So yeah, so it's every Friday, so once a week. And you can pay beforehand, you can pay like several weeks worth of taxes for the land, so you don't have to worry about it like every week, and if you have to go on holiday or something like that. Then the differences with the housing, so in Ultima Online, you can customize houses, so you can build the own shape of your house as you like. But here, there are only like pre-designed houses at this point. But I have heard that they are going to make customizable housing at some point. So, but that's not in the game yet. So, does that answer your questions? And is there anything else you want to ask about that? Oh, the vendors, you were also asking about that. So with the vendors, it's very similar to UO, except that over here, instead of buying like a merchant deed or a vendor deed, here you go into town, you try and find a free merchant who will follow you. You ask them to follow you to your house, and then you ask them to stand in one spot, and then you will you'll get this like targeting cursor. They'll want to know like where you want them to stand, and then you target the area of land where you want them to stand. A difference with the vendors is that I think that one character can only have one vendor. So, for instance, on my other house on Crimson Sea, I wanted to have 2 vendors, but I had to do that with 2 different characters for the same plot. So, you know, it's different from UO in that sense, whereas in UO you could have like an endless amount of vendors on your house. So that is a pretty big difference. You got me. Okay, good. Well, feel free to ask anything else you need. I'm always happy to answer questions and give information, because I think that there's not really the amount of information online is sometimes lacking for this game. Yeah, you can. You can do that, Fluter, yes. But with the bags inside the vendor, a big difference from UO is, you know how in UO you could organize the stuff inside the vendor? With bags and chests and stuff like that, so that somebody could, you know, okay, let's say that there's a vendor that's selling weapons, right? Then you could separate the different types of weapons into different bags, and then name those bags so that, you know, people could like browse in a sort of organized way. Unfortunately, that is a little bit different here. So if you have a bag inside a vendor, it's about selling like a whole set, and you're not even able to open that bag without trying to buy it. So that kind of sucks. What am I doing? So organizing stuff inside the vendors really kind of, I think, is really lacking compared to how it is in UO. It's not, you're not able to make, you know, organize stuff into bags in the same way, unfortunately. You can do that in your own secures, obviously, but just not in the vendors. What? My son came home now? Yep. Oh, he almost got me. He almost got me. Let's see if we can get him finished off. Let's just let him die off from the poison. Get our mana up meanwhile. One second, guys. 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. So, Fluter, I am on actually one of the community servers. I'm on a PvE, the Aria Europe PvE server. And my experiences with a vendor, did I make money with it? I did, considering that my house was sort of off to the side, that it wasn't, thank you for the follow, by the way. It was sort of off to the side and it was not in like a sort of like busy shopping area. Considering that, I was surprised at actually how often people did buy stuff from it. So, yeah, I think for those who are in like busy shopping areas, they probably make quite a bit of money. Probably more money than they know what to do with, to be honest. I never made that much money that I could actually like, you know, that I would be just swimming in gold. Never, I was never in that situation myself. But then again, my house was not in a very busy area either. Yeah, it's a little bit more clumsy for sure. I agree. It's much more clumsy than in how it was in UO. I'm not quite sure why they didn't just do it exactly like it was done in UO, because I think the system that they had in UO was pretty you know, polished for the vendors. I'm not sure. It's quite strange. It's a bit more clumsy here for sure. So where's the hotspot for shops? I would say, and someone feel free to correct me if they feel I'm wrong about this, but I would say that Elder Village, any area just around Elder Village is a hotspot for shopping. So basically, so there's Elder Village right there, and there's the gatekeeper. So any area around here, either southwest of Elder Village or north of Elder Village, I would say this is like the shopping sort of area. But that has been the case, at least on the servers I've been on. It could be, of course, that it's different on other servers. Not sure. In general, any area that's close to a gatekeeper seems to be pretty good for shopping. Oh, he's almost got me. Let's put a poison on him and go and get our mana up a little bit. Thank you so much for the follow, LAVEL126, and welcome to the stream. Okay, let's see if we can get him down with these frost. One more spell, then we'll have him down. There we go. So, Alavel, I am on the Aria Europe PvE server. It's a community server. I used to play on Crimson Sea, which is the European official server, but then I got to a situation where I'm a PvE player to begin with, but you know, I didn't mind that there's like PvP zones because I just thought it would be very much like the old days in Ultima Online. And you know, I had some of my funnest times in UO back in the old days before the Trammel and Felucca split. However, the way that the game is constructed makes it a little bit trickier because the access points to a lot of the PvP areas actually are through either gatekeepers or else through bridges or openings in like fences and stuff. And that means that the PKs can actually camp those areas, just wait for people to come through and then just gank them. And I got quite frustrated with that because it kept on happening to me. So I decided that I'm just gonna, I can't, I don't like the way that the PvP is structured in this game as in regards to the zones. Now in Ultima Online, the way it was, of course, in the old days was that you could, the only safe areas back then were just the towns. So then, of course, as soon as you went out of town, you were in danger. However, a major difference is that the towns didn't have these choke points, so you could go in any direction outside of town. And you know, the PKs, they would not know how people got outside of the towns. It's not like they could surround the towns and then just camp the entire town, right? So what I mean by choke point, let me just take this character over here. Just as an example, this bridge, for instance. So if we were on a PvP server right now, if we were on one of the official servers, they could just, the PKs could just hang out at the entrance of the bridge and just wait for people to come and then kill them. Now, you didn't have that in UO at all. So they didn't know how you were going to go into the dangerous areas at all. So they, you know, they couldn't just wait for you to kill you. So sure, you know, I got murdered in the old UO. Sure, I got ganked, but it happened much less frequently than it does here. Here it seemed to happen to me over and over again, any time I needed to go into the PvP areas, so I had really bad luck with it and I just got tired of it. So Fluter, you're asking what city is Britain, like sort of like a main city, the capital? That is a good question. I am not sure if there's a capital per se. That is a very good question. I have no idea. I almost feel like saying Vallis for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if there's any town that's like thought of as a capital. Does anyone else know? Hey there, P. Garrett, and welcome to the stream. Nice to have you join us. Are you a Legends of Aria player? Fluter, you're guessing that Elder, due to the shopping thing. You know, I think with Elder, I'm trying to think of a why Elder. Oh shit, there's another gazer over there. I'm trying to think of why Eldera has become, or is that the one we're killing? That's the one we're actually killing. How did it get it? I thought it was over on the bridge. Interesting. So if I'm trying to think of like how did Eldera become the hotspot for shopping? Why is it that way? And I'm thinking that it might just be because of the way that the land and the pathways and the roads, like the shape of the area, of like the layout of the city and the gatekeeper and everything just feels kind of natural for shopping. I'm not sure. Oh, we can you see, guys, you can harvest these gazers sometimes. Sometimes you can. So it's worth checking. So, P. Garrett, this is Aria Europe. I will just, I'll just give the link here in the chat. And you can check out the Nightbot link there. Again, it is a community server though, so it's not one of the official servers. Put another poison on this guy. Oh, there seems to be another player in the area. Hariel, or whatever that name was, something like that. Oh, I'm silenced. Better get a move on then. So Fluter, you're asking how big the community is on these servers. Well, as we just saw, another player just arrived to the Gazer Isle. So you will definitely bump into players once in a while, but they are much less populated, much less busy than the official servers, for sure. So for instance, when I started on this server, there was still like really amazing spots in the shopping area, so I was able to get a very nice little chunk of land. Very close to Elder Village, very close to the gatekeeper, and that's actually the house that we're gathering money for right now. But we have the plot already, but I'm just gathering money for building the house. So I think that sort of says it all, that and there's a lot of like very juicy spots around Vallis as well for that are close to the gatekeeper there. So it's much emptier. Like I would say, if I compare how often I see players here compared to Crimson Sea, I would say that maybe 1/3 of the population. As far as like what I'm seeing, you know, players when I'm, you know, going to a dungeon, or if I'm in the bank, or sorry, in the town areas, like how often I'm seeing players at the bank and stuff, I would say about 1/3. But I don't know what the actual numbers are. So what do I need to actually build the house that costs... Well, the house itself actually costs 33 gold. So I'll just show you guys like what house I'm building. So I'm building the Tudor House Mayor. No, not the Mayor. This one, Tudor House Tavern, and it costs 33 gold. And so far I have about 20 gold, and so I actually need 13 gold. Not, I have about 20 gold, so I need about 13, not 10 gold, and I have already gathered. I have already gathered all the materials for that. So all the materials are ready and waiting. Yeah, we'll see how far we get today. I highly doubt I'll be able to get the 13 gold in today's stream. And I'm gonna actually have to... Oh, hold on. Did she run out of... She's run out of the bandages already. Okay. Let's go over to Safarina, who is ready and waiting over here with some pack horses. And Safarina will hand over some more bandages and will offload the money. Let's see how much money we've actually made so far. So, we have made, in the time that we've played today, we have made 85 silver, so almost 1 gold. It is slow going with the gazers though. The gazers are pretty slow for money making, but they do give some very nice loot with ancient scrolls, and we got the candelabra a bit earlier for those. So for those who were not on the stream earlier, we got a candelabra from one of the beholders, so that was pretty nice. Now, does Milena need any? Does she need any reagents? She has 64 moss, 62 mushrooms. I think she can manage with those. Well, maybe just to be on the safe side, we will give her. It's nasty to run out. It's nasty to run out of reagents just when you're in the middle of a battle. And then some lemongrass as well. There we go. And we're all set to go for some more hunting. See if we can get him down with one E-bolt. Not quite. Not quite. Maybe he will die from the poison that he has on him. Let's put one more poison. There we go. There we go. So, Fluter, what server are you on? And are you actually playing the game yet, or are you still thinking about buying the game yourself? See if we can, wonder if there's a beholder, whether a beholder has spawned there yet. Let's just avoid the little guys. Okay, there's a normal gazer over there. Yeah, there is not a beholder here. Oh, this gazer's almost down. I'm assuming that's something that somebody else has tried to kill, though. I'm wondering. Maybe somebody's over there, like, just regaining their health or something, and they're in the middle of killing that. Or is this something I've been attacking? I don't think so, though. But even if it is somebody else's kill, I will not get anything from finishing it off. Let's just finish it off just to be on the, just to be safe. But I think this is probably some. Oh, it is mine actually. Because if it would have been, if all that damage would have been done by somebody else, I would get then the message that this is not your. I forget the sentence. Something along the lines of, "This is not your kill" or something like that. I forget exactly what it says. But I did not remember that I had actually done damage to a gazer. Unless it works in a way that, I wonder how it works, like if somebody has done a lot of damage to a mob, but then they leave the area. I wonder if there's like a timeout for how long they have sort of ownership of the kill, you know? Does anyone know actually? I'm curious about that. I'm so glad that you can move the nameplate around these days. And I actually forgot to check whether I can harvest this one. Oh, we can. We might actually move on to going to deception just to get a little bit of a variation here, because there's only so long that I have the patience to try and kill these guys. It gets a little bit tedious after a while. Oh, there we go. Now, I'm trying to remember where the... I think I needed to actually go over to this side. I think that was the closest, what is it called? The resurrection stone? So we're just gonna run over to this side. Took too much of a risk. I should have gone off and just Healed myself up a bit. Got a little bit cocky there. I've never actually noticed that the ghost head is white like that. That's quite weird. How freaky does that look, guys? It's like the skin that you have assigned for the skin color that you've assigned for your character is not working for the ghost version. That's pretty strange. There we go. Am I going in the right direction even? There's a little bit of a bug with Minimap now. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but you know how before you could have the Minimap locked so that the direction north was always like facing north, but now it rotates around, and also like if you the only thing that the lock does is it will lock the icons in place, which doesn't really help you if you go into town, for instance. It's actually giving you the wrong directions. There's a bug report about it on the forums, and I've also chimed into that forum post about it, so hopefully they fix that soon. However, they did seem to do an update to the graphical style of the minimap, which I really like. So they've added these little shadows to the elements there. So that's it looks really, really nice. I'm gonna some of you might have been on my streams before where I've showed those maps that I've been working on, where I've taken tons and tons of screenshots, but actually the visual improvement that they've done to the mini maps is so nice that it's worth actually redoing all of those maps, which seems like a little bit of a crazy thing to do. But so what we're gonna do now is we'll have Safarina give Milena like the bare essentials, just so that she doesn't die first thing, just in case that gazer is right there next to her body. So let's at least take some bandages, and maybe we will take... She can do 1 e-bolt on that guy, so let's take 10 moss. That's what you need for the e-bolts. And then she can at least heal herself up a bit, zap that gazer down, and then get her body. Thankfully the body was in a good spot as well. It was not in too bad of a spot. So it's not right in the middle of the spawn or anything like that. There we go. Let's get a e-bolt lined up. And that is taken care of. Good. And let's just loot her first thing. Just double click the backpack because sometimes it feels like the loot doesn't really work perfectly. Sometimes it will leave a few items behind. Got ourselves an ancient scroll, 2 of them actually, which is pretty sweet. Now, I'm wondering, so my son said he's going to bed in... Okay, he's going to bed in about half an hour, so actually we will not go to Deception. We won't have enough time to... It's going to take half an hour probably to even get up. Well, not half an hour, but it will, you know, it take at least 15 minutes to get up there and get everything organized. So I will just continue with the gazers here during the stream, and we'll just see how much money we can make today. And then I'm going to have to wrap up the stream, I'm afraid. But now that I've done the boring stuff with the house, so by boring stuff I mean that I have I've spent the last couple of weeks gathering all of the building materials for that that house. All of that boring stuff has been taken care of. The materials are ready and waiting in the bank. All I need is now the gold. That's the only thing I'm missing right now. So that is much more fun to watch on a stream. So I'm definitely going to be streaming Legends of Aria much more in the coming days as we gather up the gold for that house. And just don't get yourself killed, cats, again. Don't do that. Let's put another poison on that gazer. And then go and get our mana up a bit. Oh, you're getting tired and should return to an inn for some rest. Okay, so even from that side as well, it would not have been good to go to deception in that kind of condition, so it's sort of like timing-wise kind of perfect, so I will have enough energy with my character here to just finish off some gazers before we end the stream, and then I'm probably going to take her to an inn and get her all like all refreshed for some more hunting later on. There we go. Now, it would be really sweet if we could get one more beholder. Get one more beholder to spawn, but they don't spawn very often. So I have a sneaking suspicion that we're not going to have such good luck, but at least we got one beholder in this stream. Got that nice sweet candelabra from it. So that I'm very, very, very happy about. Very happy indeed. Hello there, Seren. Nice to see you. Ah, Seren, have you, I don't think you are aware yet, are you? Were you here when I was, or maybe you are actually. I can't remember whether you have been on my streams after I moved to this other server. So I am not playing on Crimson Sea anymore. Yeah, the PvE server. That's right, yeah. So in one of the other streams, we built the sort of farming house for the house I have next to Halls of Corruption. We did that in one of the streams, but that's just for farming for reagents. That's not going to be like my proper house. And my proper big house is near Elder Village, and I already have the plot like bought for that, and it's already expanded the plot. However, I've already gathered enough materials to buy the house, or to build the house, so that we don't have to do it on stream anymore. That's the boring thing to watch. But I'm just missing about 13 gold. Well, actually make that 12 gold now. I had sort of miscalculated before I made the title for the stream. I thought it was 10 gold, but it's actually about 13 gold that we still need. And the one I'm getting is the Tudor Tavern. And we can just have a look at that quickly again. So the house I'm going to be building is the Tudor House Tavern, this one. 33 gold, 26 silver. And I have about I have now about 21 gold in total accumulated. If we add together what I had before and what we've made on the stream tonight. Yes, Fluter, the prices are exactly the same on the official servers. Now, that is, of course, this server. The rule set of this server is that this server is identical to the official servers. Otherwise, the only difference being is that everywhere is guarded. So there are no PvP areas on this server, but otherwise, you know, they have not altered the map, they have not changed the pricing, they have not changed the game balance or anything else on this server, which is something I really appreciate. Now, I don't know what it's like on other community servers, so it could be that on some of their community servers they have changed prices or names of things and stuff like that. So I don't know what it's like there, but at least on this one, everything is identical to the official servers other than the PvP thing. So... So Fluter, how long does it take to make 10 gold? So let's just say that I was not streaming and I was just playing with my mage. I could probably make about like 1 gold within maybe 45 minutes, something like that. It sort of depends on where I am. Yeah. About 1 gold in about 45 minutes is, I think, about right for this character. Now, of course, that's just with a mage, and that's just with the way I play and the places I go to. I'm sure, like, I know some people, they make gold much more quickly than I do. So... Oh, did you move to the PvE server as well, Seren? Because you were on Crimson Sea before, right? Did you move here to the Aria Europe server? I'm so happy to hear that if you did. It's nice to have friends here on the same server. Did I understand correctly? And you have a little plot at the Helm Gatekeeper. Ah, yes, yes. Awesome. That's so nice to hear. I'm so happy to hear that because, well, first of all, it's very cozy and comforting to know that you have like friends around, right? But even though I'm pretty much like a solo player, there are, you know, since we're on a server that is less populated, we're gonna, if we want to be able to do like, you know, the higher end stuff at some point, we're gonna have to go in groups to be able to get through to, like, you know, we can do the first levels of the dungeons, but we will not be able to really be able to handle soloing like second and like further dungeon levels. So at some point you gotta get together with your friends on this, especially on this server, because it's less populated. There's not going to be so many people around. So, but yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. That's wonderful. So you have a little house at the Helm Gatekeeper then. I probably have seen it. I have probably seen it, and probably you were probably just as astonished as I was when you came to this server, when you noticed how many of the sweet like building spots were still around, like really you know, plot spots that would be considered like really valuable, like on the official servers that have been like taken, you know, ages ago on the other servers. There's a lot of sweet spots still available here. Let's get this guy down. There we go. you got a second account as well, Seren. Yeah, it is. It does help to have a second one, doesn't it? So, Fluter, what is a good way to make money fast? So it depends, of course, on what kind of character you have and what level that character is. So, or not level rather, but like, you know, what their skills are at. So for a beginning player, probably the cemeteries, the graveyards are a good bet. Once you get up a bit higher, I would go to Halls of Corruption, the easiest dungeon. And then from there, it's places like this Gazer Spot or the other dungeons or the Wild Spiders. It's only a plot at this point. I see, Seren. Okay, so you don't have a house there yet. Are you still you're still gathering money for your house? I'm guessing. And what kind of house are you gonna build once you get it all set up? Yeah, so you made a second account so you could have an account that would make all your sort of gear and like weapons and armor and stuff like that. Yeah, I do the same thing. It is really nice to have a second account for that. And you made your account before I started, some weeks before. And you also got welcome money. Ah, okay. Yeah, I had actually made Safarina. I had made her like also earlier, but I was just using her to do the map. Back then, I had no intentions originally of actually playing, so she didn't have any skills or anything, you know. And she was just running around so I could take screenshots of the mini map. You know, I wouldn't have to be afraid of like PKs in the PvP areas. Right. So you've been, so you were much smarter. You had the sort of foresight to actually start here much earlier. I should have also started. I should have just started here from the get-go. But earlier I was just like thinking to myself, you know, that it's a bit of a risk to play on a player server. But I'm at this point really that I have no motivation to play on the official server anymore anyhow. Because I just so tired of getting ganked there. So you were much wiser than I was, Seren. Good for you. And I learned a little bit slower. But I'm having so much fun here. It's such a difference to play on this server and know that there is not going to be a single player that's going to be able to stop me from exploring the entire world, from enjoying the content that's on the so-called PvP areas. Best decision ever to come to this server. I'm so glad I decided to come here and give it a chance. And Harry, the guy who oh shit, don't die, Milena. Oh, that bandage thing, that really annoys me. That the timer thing that you can't like load up another bandage while you're on while you're waiting for the first one to time out. That it just cancels the action. That's so annoying now. I don't know why they changed it that way. It's really annoying. Let's put a poison on this guy and run this way for a change. And hello there, GoBZ. Welcome to the stream. So you're asking, is this game still in early access? Yes, it is. So it's gonna be coming to Steam. The launch to Steam is sometime this spring. Originally it was supposed to be December. What was it? December 3rd or shit. Oh, there we go. I think it was supposed to be originally, and do you notice, same spot as before, and the gays are almost dead. So, almost exactly the same situation as we had earlier. Is the game, yeah, so do I know if they're going to reset official servers upon release? No, they are not resetting anymore. So it's absolutely safe to start playing, absolutely. So, and you can just buy the game off of their website if you want to start playing already. It is definitely a fully fledged game already. The only thing that it's, like the main thing that it's sort of missing is probably like once you have played for some time and you've gotten all your characters at high level, you might start to run out of content. But of course, you know, they'll be adding content as we go along anyhow. So there's definitely more than enough to do for, you know, your first few months of playing the game. Like, if I think about the goals that I want to reach, I have not even gotten close to completing them at all. I have so many things I want to do, and so there's definitely still a lot of content, unless you're just one of those players who plays like from morning to evening every day. And Jabber, you're asking, is it possible to farm dragons here? Yes, there are dragons. I'm not sure if there's dragons that are called dragons, or whether they're just called wyverns and drakes possibly here. I have only seen tamers walking around with them. I don't know. Are there actual dragons in the game? Let's just actually check that. Let's check from the wiki. Dragon. Bestiary. Let's see. Dragon? I don't see a dragon in the list here, but there are at least the wyverns, which are pretty much the same thing. Oh, there's not even a picture of it here in the wiki. Yeah. So, I'm assuming that you can kill them and farm them, and you can definitely tame them, at least. I can remember seeing somebody's stream where they were actually killing off the wyverns in one of the dungeons. And Fluter, you were asking a little bit earlier, did I ever see the Legends of Ultima community server? I have seen it, I'm aware of it. Thank you for the follow, Gopzy. I am aware of it, and many people actually ask me, because they know, of course, that I'm an old Ultima Online player. They've been asking me if I'm going to be playing on that server and whether I'm interested in the server, and I'm aware of it, never played it myself, never tried it myself, never logged on to it, but I've seen other people streaming it, but for some reason I don't really have much interest in that server, as I'm sort of here to play Legends of Aria, and not, even though, of course, the game structure-wise is pretty much the same thing as UO, I'm still wanting to sort of enjoy the game for what it is, you know? But I have heard good things about it, though, so I'm sure it's going to be a very popular community server. And Seren, yeah, the welcome gift. I meant to say that, yeah, I got one of those as well. What was it, 10 gold or something like that? And some skills as well, or something like that. I forget. But it was a very nice welcome gift indeed. And it definitely helped you sort of get started. There we go. And poor old Malena, second death. I need to be a bit more careful. I need to get her, I need to get Safrina to make her some more leggings. What's the weight like? We have no problem with the weight. Okay. Let's see, can we harvest this? Not this one. Let's just double check. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay. So let's continue the hunt. Let's see if there is... Oh, there's another gazer over there. I think I put a poison on this guy a bit earlier. Now, let's be a little bit more careful this time. Oh yeah, we're getting that tired message. So actually... Oh, come on. So Seren, you're asking, how did I gather the first batches of reagents to start the mage? I think I bought the first reagents from the NPC in town. Because of course there was that starter money, right, that we get, that sort of welcome money. So I bought some reagents and then I went pretty much straight to Halls of Corruption after that. Because at Halls of Corruption, you will come out of that place with more reagents than what you had when you went in, and so that's a great place to farm the reagents as well, especially when your character gets a bit higher. Now, however, I have to say that to actually do that, to go pretty much straight to Halls of Corruption, you have to know what you're doing. You have to already be familiar with the place, know how it works, know how the spawn works. And also it's going to be very, 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 very hard for the first couple of hours. You will have to keep on going outside to heal yourself up and go through the teleporter to get out of the dungeon and heal up over and over again. But at least you are getting reagents as... you're getting lots of reagents once you get something killed, so at least you're not losing the reagents at that point. And then, you know, within about 4 or 5, 6 hours, you start to actually get quite a bit of progress, especially if you go and get yourself like a fireball spell. And the way that I got the which of course the fireball is not by default in the spell book when you first start a mage. So what I did is I got her to inscript herself. I just did got the inscription skill up to 30. I just bought the skill off the NPC, and then I had her inscribe, because the first scrolls that you need for inscription can be bought from the NPC. So I got her to inscribe her own fireball spell, and that made a huge difference. I was able to, you know, do so much more damage with the fireball and just spam that at the imps at Halls of Corruption. And then soon after that, once she had a little bit more money and a little bit more skills, I hunted around NPCs, the vendors, for somebody who might be selling a lightning spell and also the greater heal spells. And those I just bought off somebody's vendor. And then after that, I was just managing with lightning for quite a long time until I bumped into a mage in Halls of Corruption and asked him whether he might have an extra E-Bolt spell on him. And he was actually an inscriber, so he you know, we made a little bit of a deal together, and I gave him some leather hides, and he gave me the E-Bolt spell and some other spells as well. Oh, I see. So on Crimson you had a Lancer which could do corruption. So you know how corruption works then. Okay, good. And oh yeah, I think I saw you. Didn't I see you in during one of my streams? I think I might have actually seen you in Halls of Corruption one time. I somehow remember something like this. But you've never done it with, you've never started with a mage, yeah. So, okay, so you have Halls of Corruption experience, you know what it's like there, so you could definitely go there on your first day with your mage. So just buy up the skills. In fact, what I would do, even before going, I would, if you have the money, I would buy up some reagents. Make sure to buy all the skills that you need, obviously, from the NPCs. Like the mage NPC, and also you're probably going to want healing and vigor as well, and then buy up your inscription skill to get yourself a fireball spell, unless you're able to find a fireball somewhere else, like off somebody's like vendor, but it could be a bit tricky on this server because there's not so many shops around. And then you will have to make like, before you go into corruption, you might have to go to the cemetery for, I don't know, like half an hour or something like that, just to get a little bit of the skills going up a bit, just so that they're a little bit over 30, and then you can probably head on your way to corruption. But you're gonna have to stay at the entrance though, and just like kite the imps up to the portal to get out of the dungeon, and keep on going out of the dungeon to heal up and then go back in. And you can handle on the, you know, during those first hours you'll be able to handle one imp at a time if you're fast with your spells, maybe two, but yeah, it's going to be very careful going in the very beginning for sure. Yeah, no problem. And you know, if you go in and if you just die like immediately, maybe then, you know, work at a cemetery just for a while, and then, but it shouldn't take too long. Like, I've done this now twice on 2 different mages. The mage I started on Crimson Sea before I had decided to move to this server, and then I redid that same thing when I came here and started my mage here, and it worked both times. So it's sort of proven that you can do it as long as you have corruption experience. I would not recommend that for anyone who has not been in Halls of Corruption and doesn't know, because it's so frantic in there, it's so intense. So those little imps and the rate at which they spawn, it's just madness in there. So definitely do not recommend that for somebody who's inexperienced with the place, that's for sure. Oh, why am I doing earthquake? Jesus. I don't understand the earthquake spell, like, because you know when you do the earthquake, you actually do damage to yourself as well. So what it basically does is this area spell. It's an area spell, and oh shit, it's an area spell, and it will kill off. It'll do a little bit of damage, like if you have a whole bunch of like small mobs around. So it's like perfect for a place like the cemetery. However, it also does damage to you, so you have to have full health when you're doing that. But the tricky thing is that to have full health, you can't be too much attacked, but then you sort of lose the point. If you want to like do an area spell to a whole bunch of smaller mobs, they will have done enough damage to you that once you do the earthquake, you will end up actually like killing yourself. So it's kind of a useless spell, to be quite honest. Let's put a poison on that guy. see if we can get him down this time. One more. There we go. And he almost got me killed, actually. I was almost on the verge of dying again. Yeah, those imps are nasty, aren't they? And they just like there's so many of them, and since they can also heal themselves, and then they spawn so quickly, they're really quite a pain in the ass. But of course, you know, once you sort of get into things, it's great for the harvesting of the reagents for sure. So what do you feel, Serven, about the population of the server? Like, would you agree that it's about maybe, like, it feels like it's about 1/3 of Crimson Sea? Like, as far as like how often you will see people in the dungeons, or how often you will see people. I guess you maybe you haven't gone to the dungeons yet on this server. It sounds a little bit like that, but as far as how many people you see in the bank areas, in the town areas, as you're sort of exploring, would you agree that it's about 1/3? 1/4 or even less, in your opinion? You might be right about that. Yeah, it is a little bit on the lonely side. Then again, of course, I'm such a solo player that I'm just kind of happy that there's not so much competition around. Like, for instance, if you go to the cotton fields, most of the time there's nobody there. There's like just cotton to be picked any time around the clock. But you can definitely notice like just the lack of shops that are existing. But you know what I think, Serven? I think that once people start to have the same reaction that we did, that they get tired of being ganked, they're going to start to head to these PvE community servers. I'm pretty certain of that. So I have a feeling that we don't have to wait too long before we're going to start to see an influx of players to this server. I have that feeling. And of course, it'll be interesting to see what happens then when it opens up to Steam. I'm sure there's going to be a surge of players at that point as well. Oops. Yeah, I know why I'm dying actually. It's probably because I'm exhausted and I need to go to an inn to get her refreshed a bit. And you didn't have so many interactions with other players on Crimson, spontaneous ones, only via Discord. I see. I myself, you know, even though I sort of keep to myself, I did have actually quite a few interactions myself on Crimson. I don't know what it is. I could swear that Crimson Sea has more role players than the American servers, from what I have been like seeing when I've been watching the streams, because I haven't of course been playing on the American servers, but when I watch the streams I just don't see too much role playing going on. I somehow feel that there are more role players here on the European servers for some reason. So that of course affects how often you're going to have players sort of interacting with you and chatting to you at banks and stuff like that. geyser. Let's get this other guy finished off. There we go. How much money do we have collected so far? 74 silver, roughly. And put that together with the money that we already dropped off at Safarina, who's still waiting here patiently for Milena to come back with some more money. So we have here, we have 85 silver, and with this one, 74 silver. So we've made, during the stream, we've made roughly about 1.5 gold. So it's pretty slow going though with these geysers, I have to say. I think I would have made more if I would have been at Halls of Corruption, but I've been to Halls of Corruption so many times during my streams that I didn't want to bore you guys with that. Because it's very much a grind in there. Oh, there's another one. Let's get this guy kited over here. Oh, there's a baby gazer. Don't want to have both of those guys on my heels, that's for sure. Let's take care of the baby first. So how many reagents do you think are needed for fighting? You're asking Serven? Well, if I'm going into Halls of Corruption, I usually take 100 of each except for the ginseng, which I will sometimes actually go inside without even taking any ginseng, maybe 5 ginseng, just because I have healing. So, and I definitely recommend taking healing and vigor with your mage, because it is so handy to be able to, like when you have to run away, like I'm gonna do right now, then you can heal on the run, and then also you won't be wasting your mana on healing spells, right? So you can save all of your mana for just doing casting the damage spells. So that's why you don't use up very much ginseng. So that's what I take when I go to Halls of Corruption, because I know I'm gonna come out of there with more reagents than I went in with. Now, where we are right now with the gazers, they do drop a little bit of reagents. However, you definitely burn up more reagents than what you actually get back. So if I were to be here without Safarina, let's say I had come here just without having my crafter with her pack horses just waiting. So just to clarify, so Safarina is here on the other side of the server border, and she has hundreds of reagents with her, and I come to tank up at her when I'm running out of reagents. But if I were to just be here alone with my mage, I would probably take like a couple hundred of each, except for the ginseng, which I'd probably take about 50 of. It sort of depends on where you're going and what your sort of setup is like. But going into Corruption, about 100 of each, maybe 5 ginseng. The game needs more horse colors. I know, yeah. Oh, and Serven, do you know what I saw in my last stream? I saw the Dread horses live. So that's actually in my last Legends of Aria stream. We went to go and check out where they spawn, the black ones. They were so beautiful, and there was like different shades of black as well, just like in Ultima Online. So Ultima Online, you had the nightmares that had like, you had the lighter colored black ones, and then you also had the pure black, ebony black ones, and it's the same here as well. And we saw both of them in my last stream, and they're so beautiful. I want to work so badly on my. I think you know what I'm gonna do, guys. Is like once I get this house set up, I probably want to get some merchants set up as well, just to get a little bit of money incoming like automatically. But I am probably gonna then start to work on a tamer, which I have not created a tamer here yet. But I'm gonna create a tamer, and we're gonna start working towards getting a dread mare. You saw one in a city. Oh yes, now I remember. It was in Valis, wasn't it? Or was it? Or was that? Hold on, where was that? I do remember you mentioning that. Wasn't that during one of the streams you mentioned that? They're so pretty. They are so pretty. But I do agree. More horse colors would be nice, just for the normal horses. And you know how it's kind of like cool how the different sections of the map have different like horse color spawns. Like you have near Valis, you have the Palomino ones with the yellow horses with the white manes. And over here you have or rather in Elder village areas and in Helm, you have the bay colored ones, the brown ones with the black manes. It would be really nice if they did that a little bit more, that maybe there would be a horse spawn, you know, near Pyro's Landing that would be like white horses or something. Or hey, with the new Frosty area, the new winter area, that could have like white horses. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Yeah, exactly. That would be perfect, wouldn't it? Exactly. Yeah. What is she doing? Hold on. Oh, I'm silenced. Better get out of here. And silenced again. How annoying is that? At least I got a poison in there quickly. Got a poison in there just before before that mean old gazer silenced me. Okay, let's see. Not again! Again! Oh my gosh. How annoying is that? I can't do a single thing to him. Let's at least get a poison in there once that little icon goes away. There we go. Can we get him done? Maybe a frost spell? There we go. And done. There we go. Can't be harvested, this one, unfortunately. So, Serena, are you going to be making yourself a tamer as well at some point? Are you going to also go for a dreadmare? Oh, and I see Finzia is actually here on the stream as well, lurking. Finzia, I'm guessing you heard me just tell Seren that I saw the Dreadmares live. We went to go and see the spawn point in my last stream, and they thanks again for sending those screenshots We were looking actually in my last stream, we were looking at the screenshots that you had sent me in Twitter. So it's going to take some time, but you're also going to work on a tamer as well, Siren. Yeah, that will be such a nice, refreshing experience. Like a break from the crafting and a break from... It's such a different process than having a mage. And you know what I actually forgot to mention, guys? I have... after making this mage, and I got to the point where she can now do the portals and she can just zap herself around, I made a decision. I am going to take 70 manifestation with all of my characters from this point on. So Safarina actually already has 70 manifestation. So she can portal herself around to the different mining areas and so forth. I just found that it was like so handy. It was so much nicer to be able to zap around other than instead of having to like run around and go through the gatekeepers all the time, and also not wanting to waste those runes, because of course you can use the runes, use up the runes. If you don't have manifestation, you can use a rune, but that you lose the rune in the process, and one empty rune actually costs 2 silver at the NPC general store. So that kind of, it adds up. That 2 silver is not exactly cheap. So so I've made that decision to have 70 manifestation with all of my characters. At 70 manifestation, you can make a portal. So, and you don't need any of the other magery skills at all. What the hell am I doing? What am I doing over here? And it's really easy as well to get your character up to 70 manifestation simply by... so what I would do with Safarina is I would just have, like, first of all, of course, Milena had farmed for the reagents in Halls of Corruption. So I had tons, and since I never really used the ginseng since she has healing, I had thousands and thousands and thousands of ginseng. And ginseng is used for the healing spell, so what I did with all of those thousands of ginseng is I gave them to Safarina to train up manifestation with, because manifestation is all the defensive and these sort of like healing spells and portal and mark. And all of those spells are under manifestation. So that was like the perfect way to use up all of that ginseng, is I gave it to Safarina, and then what she would do is she would go mining. So since she did not have the channeling, which is meant for, which is the same as meditation, which is meant for getting your mana up, since she did not have that skill, of course, whenever I would cast spells with her to work on the manifestation, she would run out of mana very quickly, right? So what I would do is I would go out mining, I would go out chopping wood, and she would cast the healing spells on all of her pack horses. I could swear that it has an effect. Like, of course, you could cast it just on yourself over and over and over again, but I could swear that it has some kind of positive effect on getting more skill gain when you have more targets and you're moving around as well. So she would, do some chopping, she would do some mining, then she would cast all the healing spells on the pack horses, then move on to the next spot to chop the next tree or mine the next spot. And then wait for that way she would wait for the mana to regenerate without channeling. And then of course she would again like cast the spells after a while, and it just worked really, really nicely. She would just cast the heal, and then she moved on to greater heal, and she's now at over 70 actually. She's over 70 right now, and super easy, super kind of broke the monotony as well of chopping trees and mining. that you were able to cast these spells once in a while. So I warmly recommend doing that for anyone. Let's do one frost spell on this guy. Ray of Frost, there we go. So you just realized, Siren, that your crafter, who has some lancing to make leather, can now kill trolls and bandits. Time to make a mage now, since you can make money now. Awesome. And also, if you want, Siren, I'm actually going to be playing some... Like, I have to quit my stream in a moment. Because my son is going to be going to sleep, and his bedroom is right behind the wall. So I'm going to have to wrap up the stream any moment now. But if you're interested, I would be absolutely happy to get you started in Halls of Corruption. Like, I could come and be your bodyguard, and you could do all the looting. So you could get yourself a whole bunch of reagents. I would be absolutely happy to do that. We could do a deal. We could do this kind of deal that, like, if you're interested, we could do a deal where I gather the gold and you gather the reagents, and I'm your bodyguard, because I need the gold for my house, of course, and you need a whole bunch of reagents to get started, right? It's just an idea, and then we could use the team option for the looting stuff. You would love to do that? Sure. Okay. So, obviously I can't use my voice at that point, but we can... Oh, my backpack is actually full. Let's go offload that to Safarina. And you got Ruin, Poison, and Heal from Bandit Camps. Of course, the spellbook already has... I think it already has all of those spells, actually, by default. But, Siren, let's see, now, I think we need to... What we could do is friend each other here in the game. So there's now... They have added this new friend window. It's down here, in the bottom right. And, probably the easiest way to go about this is... If we were to do this... First of all, are you on Discord? And if you're on Discord, we could... add each other on Discord, and then we can, after we get, you know, that set up, we can, once you've made your mage, we could add each other here in the friend list here in the game and meet up, because you can send like private messages through this thing now, so you can send those in the game now, which is pretty good. And my Discord handle is... It is... I'll just put that in the chat. So let's connect there, and then we can set it all up. How long are you going to be? Do you want to do that today? Or some other day? I myself am going to be playing, but of course it is late for us Europeans. It is already almost 11 o'clock in the evening here in Finland, at least. And my sleeping schedule is totally messed up, so I'm going to be playing Legends of Aria for the next, I don't know, at least 4 or 5 hours, but of course for you it might be bedtime already. Oh, you're sick, so you can play. Okay, so if you're up for that, we could go do that. Oh, yours is messed up as well. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. That sounds awesome then. It's like a win-win situation for both of us then, right? So actually what I will do... Oh, I need to, let's just go with Malena and grab... There was some loot still from the little baby gazer. I'm just gonna go grab that. And then I'm gonna go get everything set up for corruption. I know it's gonna take you some time, of course. So no rush on your end. You just take your time making your character, getting her all set up. But I need to go and get things set up at my house anyhow. So, and I need to take a break anyhow too. I haven't eaten anything yet, really. So, I will, once I quit the stream, I'm gonna go take a little bit of a real life break. And, now where is that other gazer that I killed? Because I meant to loot it. I could swear it was here on the bridge somewhere. There was a gazer, a baby gazer that I couldn't loot because my inventory was already full. But is it not here then? Oh, and it looks... Oh yeah, I have to go do the inn thing, the inn rest thing as well. Okay, I will add you then, Seren. I will add you then if you're... Yeah, I'm pretty new I'm pretty new to Discord as well myself, so I know what you mean. It's not... I think there's like some things about the Discord, like UX that is... It's not the most intuitive in some ways. Just want to find that baby gazer that I had killed before. I wasn't really focusing like where I was at the time. Maybe it was up here, up higher. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I left it. Maybe it just, I don't know, very weird. Very, very strange. Yeah, it isn't very intuitive, is it? Yeah. It is not. I wonder if it was one of the baby gazers over here. No, it was not up here either. Okay, let's kill off this little guy. And then I will I will make a portal for Safarina, and then I will get this little lady over to the inn in Elder Village to get her refreshed at the hearth in the inn there. Quite annoying, that future of the game as well. I'm not quite sure what purpose it's meant to serve, really. That you sort of you start to become exhausted, like it's just kind of an annoyance, really. Okay, let's do this. Let's just portal. I will create a portal for Safarina to go to the house. So let's just give that portal over to, or the rune rather, to oh, they're both to Elder Bank. Okay. Oh, but they both have a hearthstone anyhow. Okay, so she can actually just hearthstone over. She can just hearthstone over. Let me just give her all the gold. All the loot. Money. And scrolls. Oh, there's a tattered map. There's actually 2 tattered maps. Frayed map and just a normal, oh, and a tattered map, yeah. I have gotten fancy maps here as well from those gazers. I think, oh, hold on, there's still one, there's 4 ancient scrolls. Let's put those in here as well, just a mess. And then she is, Safarina is just going to hearthstone over to the house. And then I'm going to take Malena to the inn to get herself rested up for the upcoming corruption trip. And I will, before I end the stream, Seren, I'm just going to make sure I'm able to add you in, that I'm able to add you in the Discord, just to make sure we get that all sorted before I end the stream. There we go. And let's just trot her over to the inn quickly. Like so, and get her over to the hearth. And make sure that Safarina as well is safe with all her horses, and so some bear doesn't come and attack. There we go. Okay, so now, Seren, I'm going to try and add you here in Discord. And maybe you've actually already... I do see a notification. Okay, and you did manage to send that invitation just fine. So we're now connected in Discord. So yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna of course it's gonna take you some time to get your character put together, and you just take your time with that, because I need to make something to eat for myself anyhow. And when you are ready, you just send me a message in Discord when you're at a point with your mage that you have everything done and you have all the skills that you need, and you're at the point that you're ready to go into corruption. You just send me a message in Discord and we will meet up in the game. And as I said, I'm going to be on the game for many hours anyhow, so I don't have any schedule whatsoever. So whenever it's the best for you. Yep. And no rush, as I said, because I will definitely be able to keep myself entertained up till then anyhow, because what I'm probably going to do is once Malena has sort of regenerated herself at the inn, I'm probably going to go in and just start farming reagents for myself anyhow before that. So I have stuff to do anyhow, so you just take your time and we will meet up a little in a while then. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on the stream. I will be streaming Legends of Aria much more in the coming days, because I want to get that house built, and now that all I have left to do really is to gather the gold, it's going to be a little bit more entertaining to watch me do that instead of chopping trees and mining, because I have all the materials all ready to go. All I need is the rest of the gold. So thanks again, guys. You all have a great night, and Seren, I will be seeing you soon in game. Good night, guys.